What is going on, guys? My name is Derek, aka Beat the Sportsbooks, and in this video I'm going to explain to you how I make over $1,000 in profit every single month on PrizePicks. So first of all, I'm going to lead off and I'm going to do something that pretty much nobody on social media, YouTube, Twitter, Instagram will ever do, and I'm going to show you inside of my account so that you guys can see that this is actually legit. I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to refresh the page. I've made over $188,000 in gross winnings at around a 30% profit margin. That means I've made over $50,000 in profit on PrizePicks, and I currently have almost $10,000 in my account, guys. Right now, I only have this one slip pending, and in the last 3 days, I've made over $1,000 in profit. Literally last night, we just hit for 10x on Monday Night Football. Literally one day before that, we hit a 10x in this Green Bay versus Minnesota game, turning $50 into $500. And then we hit a 15x, guys. Yes, a 15x in this Jacksonville versus Houston game. So in this video, I'm going to explain to you the exact strategy that I've used to make all of this money. I'm going to show you how you should be playing on PrizePicks and give you 3 tips to succeed, as well as at the end, I'm going to give you an opportunity to replicate my success exactly without having to do any work or know anything. So the strategy that I'm going to be explaining in this video, guys, is called correlation, and I've explained this on my YouTube channel several times, but a lot of people, they don't seem to understand it. And I keep seeing a lot of people play slips that don't have correlation. So let me set the record straight, guys. This is the only strategy that you should be using on PrizePicks. And if you are not using this strategy, you will 100% lose money. So what does correlation mean? Correlation means the things inside of your parlay or your slip are connected, so that if one thing happens, another thing is likely to happen. So let me give you a simple example, guys. First, we have Geno Smith to go over his passing yards, to go over 248.5 passing yards. We're gonna pair that up with DK Metcalf to go over his receiving yards. Geno Smith and DK Metcalf are on the exact same team, and Geno Smith throws to DK Metcalf. So if Geno Smith goes over his passing yards, doesn't it make sense that DK Metcalf is gonna go over his receiving yards? In this example, Geno Smith, he threw for 395 yards. Don't you think that a lot of those yards are going to go to his star receiver? Of course. So these two things, Geno Smith and DK Metcalf, are correlated. Correlated means those things are connected. Next, we have Tony Pollard to go over his rushing attempts and Devin Achane to go less than his rushing attempts. In this stack right here, Tony Pollard and Devin Achane, the Dolphins are playing the Titans. The Titans were winning the game for pretty much the entire game, meaning they're running the ball a lot. In football, when a team is winning, let's say you're up 27-14, you're going to be running the ball a lot, trying to waste the clock, get to the end of the game, and win. Whereas on the other side, if you're losing in football, let's say you're losing 27-10, you have to throw the ball a lot to come back. So you're not going to be running the ball. So very simple correlation, guys. Tony Pollard, he's on the Tennessee Titans. The Titans are winning. They're running the ball a lot. Miami, they're playing from behind. They need to throw the ball down the field. They need to catch up. They need to score points. So they're not running the ball a lot. So naturally, Devin Achane is not going to have rush attempts. This is an example of a highly correlated slip, guys, that is paying out 10x on PrizePicks. And this is how you are going to make money over the long term. We basically took a 4-man parlay and we reduced it down to 2 variables. If Geno Smith goes over, it makes sense that DK Metcalf's going to go over. And if Devin Achane goes under, it makes sense that Tony Pollard is going to go over. We did the exact same thing with this Jacksonville versus Houston game, guys. First, we have Trevor Lawrence to go more than 1.5 passing touchdowns. Then we have Brian Thomas, the wide receiver on Jacksonville, to go over his receiving touchdowns. So these two things are connected. If Trevor Lawrence throws a passing touchdown, it's very likely that Brian Thomas is going to catch it because he's the star receiver. And then down here, we have the same exact thing. CJ Stroud to go over his passing attempts and Nico Collins to go over his reception targets. This is like the most simple correlation you can ever have. If CJ Stroud throws a lot of passing attempts, Nico Collins, his star receiver, is going to have a lot of targets. We banged this out for a 15x profit, guys, just by using this simple correlation. Here's an example of a bad PrizePicks slip. If this is a really good PrizePicks slip, which it is, this is one of the best types of slips that you can make on PrizePicks. Here's an example of a bad slip. Let's say I go over to the MLB and I start looking at some props. I go to the last 5. I see Corbin Burns over 5 strikeouts, and it looks like he went over in his last 3 games, so I'm going to choose him to go over 5 strikeouts. And then I go to WNBA, and I see Chelsea Gray, 18.5 points, rebounds, assists. I look at her last 5. Oh, she's gone over in her last 4. I guess I'll choose over. So I choose her over. And then I go to rebounds, and I choose Jonquel Jones. I look at her last 5. Oh, she's gone under in her last 4. So I choose under. And then I go over to college football, and I see Daniel Jackson. I click on his last 5. Oh, he's gone under in 4 of his last 5. I'm going to choose him under. This is an example of a terrible slip on PrizePicks. Why? Because there's zero correlation between any of these outcomes, guys. If Corbin Burns goes over 5 strikeouts, that has nothing to do with Chelsea Gray going over 18.5 points, rebounds, assists. It has nothing to do with Jonquel Jones, and it has nothing to do with Daniel Jackson. So now we have 4 different things that we have to count on happening in 4 different sports in 4 different games. Versus a slip like this, we have 2 players from the exact same team, one of them who is throwing to the other, and then we have running backs on opposite teams in the same exact game, both of which are affecting each other. Also, guys, you saw me using this last 5 games feature. Please do not use this on PrizePicks. This is absolute garbage. It will never help you. And this feature is only here for you to lose money, guys. What happened in the last 5 games is completely irrelevant, guys. They already take that into account when they set this line. The sportsbook PrizePicks in this example, they already have all of this data. They already know what happened in the last 5 games. So why would you think that this is going to help you beat the sportsbooks? It's not. This data is put here to trick people who think that the last 5 games somehow affects the outcome of the next game. In reality, the matchups, they have a lot to do with each other. The lineups have a lot to do with each other. The weather, the defense versus the offense. And these are all things that are taken into account when this line is set, 61.5. So a lot of people might say, oh, well, he's gone under in 4 of his last 5 games. Well, I'm going to choose him under. This is a terrible way of thinking. It will never help you make money. In fact, it will help you lose money. And that is why they put this here, guys. They want you to use this as a guide because they already know that 90% of people on PrizePicks are going to look at this garbage and they're going to use this to make decisions. And that is why PrizePicks makes billions of dollars per year. So now that I've explained to you my correlation strategy, I'm going to tell you how to actually implement this and take your bankroll from a small amount of money, let's say $500, to $2,000, $3,000, $4,000, $5,000. And the first thing that you want to understand is the unit system. So the unit system, 1 unit is equal to 1% of your bankroll. So let's say you have $500, right? You should never bet more than 1 unit on 1 play on PrizePicks. As you can see, I bet $40 on this slip, but I have a bankroll of $10,000 on PrizePicks. So that for me is not even 1 unit, that's like half a unit. If you have a $500 bankroll, you should not be betting more than $5 per play on PrizePicks. The reason why you only want to bet 1% of your bankroll at one time is to minimize your losses. So let's say you're betting 10% of your bankroll. So let's say you have $500 and you're betting $50 per play, right? Which is way too much. And you lose 5 plays in a row, which is going to happen. It's very likely that that's going to happen. If you're betting on 10x parlays, you're going to lose 5 in a row. It's completely normal. If you lost 5 in a row at $500 and you're betting $50, you now only have $250. So you just lost half of your bankroll just by betting on 5 plays. But if you would have just stuck to $5, right, and you lost 5 plays in a row, you'd only be down $25, which is only 5% of your bankroll. So this is a mistake that a lot of sports bettors make. They bet way too much per play. You do not want to bet more than 1% of your bankroll. As you can see, I'm only using $40. I have over $10,000. I'm not going crazy, guys. I'm not betting $1,000 just because I have $10,000 in my account. So that is number 1, the unit system. Number 2, stop playing 2-mans and 3-mans. So guys, I'm not going to go too heavy into the math behind this, but 2-mans are terrible. They have bad, what are called implied odds, meaning that you need to win a lot of these bets in order to be profitable over the long term. As you can see, a 2-man pays out 3x. That means you need to win 1 out of 3 of all your 2-mans in order to even break even. And if you're using the correlation strategy like I explained to you before, the payout is even worse. Let's say I take Baker Mayfield over his passing yards and Mike Evans over receiving yards. Now it is a 2.5x. Now you need to win 1 out of every 2.5 slips to be profitable. That is 40%, guys. You need to win 40% of your 2-mans to be profitable. And that is so hard. Versus if we make a correlated 4-man like I just showed you, we get a 10x payout. So we only need this to go in our direction 10% of the time. Versus with the 2-man, we need it 40% of the time. As far as 3-mans, a 3-man pays out 5x. This has terrible odds, guys. It is very hard to win 1 out of 5 of all your 3-mans. Do not play 3-mans ever. Like I said, I'm not going to go into the math. There are some videos on YouTube if you want to see the math behind PrizePicks, but I'm not going to talk about it in this video. Just don't play 3-mans ever, please. So that is tip number 2. Tip number 3 is going to be get comfortable with losing. So like I explained to you guys before, you are going to lose a lot on PrizePicks because we are betting on parlays. Obviously, when something pays out 10x, you're not going to win every single one of them. But guys, a lot of people don't understand that you are going to have a shit ton of losses when you're betting on parlays. I'm just going to scroll through my account. You can see all of these losses, guys. I lose a lot of slips, but guess what? The slips that I do win, they always make up for the losses. So for instance, this one, it pays out 15x. This erases 15 losses. This one, it pays out 10x. This erases 10 losses, guys. So I just scrolled through this and you'd say, oh, that's a lot of losses. Guys, this is only like 10 losses. And then bang, we hit another 10x. So now we are up over 35x between that 15x, that 10x, and that other 10x. So that erases the losses technically from 35 slips. Let's say I put out 10 slips in my Discord. I put out 10 slips and only 2 of them hit for 10x. And let's say you put $50 on each one. So you would lose 8 of these slips, right? You put out 10 and only 2 of them hit. So 8 times 50, you lost $400. But 2 of them you hit for 10x. So 50 times 10, that's 500. And you hit 2 of those slips. So that's $1,000 in profit. So you just made $1,000 in winnings, those 2 10x's, minus the $400 that you lost on those slips. Now you have a profit of $600, guys. So on PrizePicks, you can go 2 for 10, you can go 2 for 13, you can go 5 for 40 and be very profitable because you're betting on 10x slips. And a lot of people, they don't seem to understand this. They don't seem to get it. I literally had some dude on Twitter, he blocked me because I missed 1 slip. So guys, the 4th and final tip that I'm gonna give you, and this is literally how I probably made $40,000 out of the $50,000 in profit that I made on PrizePicks, is to simply copy bets from a profitable Discord. So guys, on PrizePicks, when I first started, or just in sports betting in general, I was making my own slips, and I was putting in slips that I thought were profitable, but in reality, they really weren't. I thought I knew what I was doing, but I really wasn't, and that led to me losing a lot of money in the long term. I wish I would have just started copying people who are smarter than me, more profitable than me, because that is what actually took me to the next level. So now I want to pass down my knowledge to you guys. So I'm giving you an opportunity to join my VIP Discord, where I post literally all of my profitable plays that have made me over $5,000 in profit just this month, guys. And if you don't believe me, all of my slips are completely tracked by a third party on the app Pickit. So this is my bet tracker for the month of September. It doesn't even factor in Sunday where I made over $1,000. As you can see, I've made over 4.5K, and I've been profitable more than 50% of the days in September 2024. Not only am I going to leave a link down to my VIP Discord down in the description, but I'm going to make you a deal that you guys cannot resist. If you join my Discord and you are not profitable after the first month, we are not up in units, I will give you all of your money back, guys. So if you join and we go negative in the month that you are here, I will give you all of your money back. I will refund you, no questions asked. So guys, joining literally has no risk. You either make your money back and then some, which everyone in my Discord has since the beginning of its inception. Once you join the Discord, guys, the plays are posted inside of this channel on the left called PrizePicks VIP. You guys can talk in the VIP chat, and you can tag me if you have any questions about the Discord. Once you join, I will reach out to you personally, ask you if you have any questions, any concerns, and make sure that you are finding the Discord appropriate for your needs. Not only do I have slips for PrizePicks, but I have slips for Sleeper and Chalkboard if you guys are on those too, which are also 2 very profitable apps. So guys, like I said, the link is going to be down in the description. Make sure you guys join up. There is literally no risk. I will see you guys inside, and I hope to be cashing out with you all NFL and college football season long. Cheers.